The ocean stretched endlessly under a golden morning sun, its rolling waves glistening like liquid sapphire. Far below the shimmering surface, life moved with quiet rhythm, schools of silver fish flashing in synchronized patterns, jellyfish drifting like translucent lanterns, and deep in the blue vastness, two of nature's most intelligent creatures shared the same realm, the orca and the dolphin. The orca, often called the killer whale, is not a whale at all, but the largest member of the dolphin family. Sleek and muscular, with a jet black back and stark white patches. It can grow up to 9 meters in length and weigh as much as 6 tons. It is a top predator, capable of speeds over 34 miles per hour, and armed with a brain more complex than most mammals on land. And then, there is the dolphin, smaller, lighter, yet no less remarkable. Known for its playful leaps and friendly image, the bottlenose dolphin is a master of agility, capable of accelerating, twisting, and diving with a grace unmatched in the ocean. Dolphins communicate with whistles and clicks, and some scientists believe they even call each other by unique names. On this particular day, the water seemed peaceful. A pod of dolphins swam near the surface, their dorsal fins slicing through the calm waves. Among them was a young adult, curious, energetic, and eager to explore. Unaware of the danger that was about to enter its world, it drifted slightly away from its group, chasing a small school of fish that glimmered like coins in the sunlight. Beneath the stillness, something stirred. From the shadows of the deep, a dark shape moved with deliberate silence. The orca had arrived. This was no random encounter. The orca had been tracking the dolphins for some time, its sharp senses picking up the faint clicks and splashes above. Unlike a shark, which hunts mostly by smell, the orca's weapon is strategy. It uses echolocation, sending sound pulses through the water, listening to the echoes to see in complete darkness. Every detail of the dolphin's position, speed, and movement was now mapped in the orca's mind. For now, the predator kept its distance. It didn't rush. It didn't lunge. Like a chess master, it was waiting for the right move. Up above, the young dolphin darted after the last of its fish, blissfully unaware that just 200 meters below, an apex predator was already locking it into the center of its plan. The ocean was calm, but that calm would not last. The sunlight was still pouring into the crystal blue waters, but beneath the shimmering waves, a quiet tension began to build. The young dolphin, still chasing the last flickers of its prey, didn't notice how far it had drifted from the pod. The faint chatter of its companions was growing dim, replaced by an eerie stillness in the water around it. Far below, the orca adjusted its position. It had closed the distance, now hovering like a shadow at the edge of visibility. The black and white giant didn't rush forward. Instead, it moved in slow, calculated bursts. Each movement was perfectly timed with the swaying currents, blending into the ocean's natural rhythm. To an untrained eye, the orca might seem like nothing more than a passing shape. But for the dolphin, if it sensed the predator at all, instinct would scream one message: run. Suddenly, a ripple in the water caught the dolphin's attention. It wasn't the usual flicker of fish. This was heavier, slower, deliberate. The dolphin paused mid-swim, tilting its head slightly, releasing a series of short, rapid clicks. Echolocation. The sound waves bounced back almost instantly, but the returning echo was strange. The shape it painted in the dolphin's mind was massive, much larger than any familiar neighbor in these waters. At that very moment, the orca shifted again, sending a subtle wave upward. Not a violent motion, but enough to make the water feel different. The dolphin's heart rate spiked. It turned sharply, scanning the blue abyss. The pod was still visible in the distance, but they were far, too far to reach in a single sprint without being noticed. The orca had been patient long enough. Its hunting mode switched from observe to engage. It began a slow ascent, each push of its tail a silent explosion of power. The space between predator and prey shrank with terrifying efficiency. The dolphin made its decision. It wouldn't wait for the first strike. With a burst of speed, it shot toward the surface, the water parting violently behind it. The chase had begun.
The dolphin exploded toward the surface, its streamlined body slicing through the water like a silver arrow. Muscles burned with sudden effort. But instinct screamed louder than fatigue. Move or die! Just behind, the orca surged upward, the slow patience of the hunt replaced by raw, unrelenting power. Its massive tail flukes propelled it forward in thunderous strokes, each one closing the gap by meters. At full sprint, an orca can reach speeds of over 34 miles per hour, far faster than most marine life. But the dolphin, though smaller, was agile, capable of weaving, twisting, and darting in ways the heavier predator couldn't perfectly match. Sunlight fractured through the water above them, beams dancing like searchlights. The dolphin aimed for the surface, hoping to leap and confuse its pursuer. At the last second, it broke free, rocketing into the air with a desperate arc. The ocean sprayed beneath it as it twisted mid-leap, scanning for the safety of its pod. The orca followed, not with a leap, but with strategy. Instead of chasing in a straight line, it dove just below, disappearing into the darker blue. This was a calculated move. In open water, a predator's shadow can scare prey into making mistakes, but vanishing entirely, that can drive panic deeper. The dolphin re-entered the water with a sharp splash, senses on fire. It banked left then right, trying to force unpredictable angles. But the orca's intelligence showed. It didn't waste energy mirroring every move. Instead, it anticipated them, cutting through the water in smooth, economical arcs. And then came the wave tactic. With a sudden burst, the orca dove deeper, swung wide, and then powered upward in a diagonal sprint. This maneuver pushed a wall of water ahead of it, creating turbulence in the dolphin's path. The sudden disruption slowed the smaller animal just enough for the predator to close in. The dolphin could almost feel the shift in pressure. Behind it, the way the water seemed to pull toward something massive. It darted toward the seafloor, weaving between bursts of bubbles, but the orca was relentless. Every turn, every sudden climb was matched with precision. For 90 seconds, the chase continued, an eternity in the ocean's high-speed game of survival. Both creatures were at the peak of their endurance. The dolphin was running out of tricks. Then, in a split-second decision, it gambled everything on one move, a narrow canyon of rock that cut like a scar into the seafloor. It turned sharply and plunged into the shadows. The orca followed, but the real twist was still to come.